What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Cesar with Cesar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Jumia or Jumia Technologies AG. This one comes to us at the request of Mobbin. Mobbin, we're doing this one for you. And there's not a whole lot of historical data on this thing. Unfortunately, that's not going to make the TA as accurate, but we will do with what we got. Hopefully, it's as accurate as we can make it, whatever. But looking at this thing on a monthly, the RSI. Nah, not a whole lot to go off of. It's kind of weak at the moment, right? But it's showing some strength. You've got bullish divergence here. Lower lows here, higher lows there. That is a form of bullish divergence, right? Even going back over here, your lows are higher than they were over here, but on a closing basis, they are lower. Yes, your all-time low was over here, but on a closing basis, you had lower lows. Anyways, I wonder on a 3-month. Now you can't really see it there. So anyways, looking at this thing, you did have a nice month last month, but unfortunately this month you are down 37%, and it's a very, very bearish candle. After a very bullish Marubozu, you're now having a very bearish Marubozu. To a certain degree, it looks like a Marubozu anyways. I guess if you want to zoom this in, it's less so like that, but if you zoom it out, it kind of looks like that. On a bright side, though, this entire chart looks like a bottoming pattern. It looks like an atom here, and then you've got your Eve forming right here, potentially. I don't know, maybe it's that extended, maybe it would come up like this, maybe it comes up like that, like who knows, but all in all, I do think that, you can kind of see the Adam and Eve look as of right now, but that can change quickly. If we continue to go down like this and this solid downtrend like this, those are very beautifully drawn lines. I don't know. To be fair, it also does look like you've broken out of your downtrend, right? Let's see. Something like this. Yeah, you broke out of it and you're going back down now. Not a lot of volume on the break. That's not encouraging. That's really not an encouraging thing, but you might be doing some different stuff. Maybe you're getting ready to move sideways for a little bit. Maybe you really are forming the Eve to your Atom over here. Maybe it's an Eve and an Eve. I don't know. But looking at this thing on a weekly, if we kind of zoom in a little bit, RSI does look weak. Does look like you want to go lower in price for sure. I would think that you do want to return to these lows, if not more likely go lower than them. Actually, when you get into the oversold zone, you likely will break through this. And with that, I would think that you would see a move that takes you anywhere from about $2.15 to $1.72. Let's see if that lines up with anything. Dollar or $2.15, $1.72 right there. We go back in time and we can see, oh, would you look at that? You got a low, literally a tip right there off of, what was that, the 1272. Literally tipped it. So maybe you do. Maybe you do go even lower than that. Maybe you do find a bottom somewhere in this range. I just heard something fall. I don't know what it was. This was, of course, back in your previous all-time lows. Which, yeah, you might come down there. Maybe you go slightly lower. Maybe you go slightly above it, whatever. But I do think that you will probably go below. At this point in time, I feel comfortable saying you'll probably go below $2.60. Likely even below $2.30. But will you go down to the 1618? It's possible, but maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe you are getting ready, all in all, to form some kind of double bottom on a grand scheme of things, just looking at this thing. That's kind of encouraging. Not encouraging for the immediate term, of course, but encouraging overall, because double bottoms are great. It's a great time to get in. You're literally buying at all-time lows for a second opportunity at all-time lows. Let's just look real quick before we get into the daily, actually. I want to see, if this thing were to return to its all-time lows. Let's say you bought it around here, right? Let's say, was that right? I did do that right. Okay, yeah. Let's say you bought it around these lows here, which is at $2.57, something like that, right? And it went all the way to its all-time highs again. That would be a 27x. That's nice, man. That's nice. And it looks like it likes to do that in a relatively quick amount of time. If we look here, that last move, that last like 27x, a little bit bigger than a 27x, actually happened over less than a year. So that's great, man. That's great returns in less than a year, especially for a stock. Does this thing do dividends? Does not do dividends, and that's okay. I don't, most stocks that do dividends, I'm not a big dividend investor. There are people who are, and they are very successful with it. It just depends on your style. Depends on the amount of patience you have too. But looking at this thing, man, on a daily, RSI looks weak. It looks very weak, man. Even in your like stronger phases, you didn't look that strong, man. You're very, very, very weak. Quick to give it back. Slow climb up, quick to give it back. You did come back, but with overall bearish divergence in this range, and then just completely shit the bed, right? It took you so long to build up to these stronger areas, but it did not take you long at all to cave. So you are below the 50 on your long-term RSI. You actually bounced right off of the 50 while being above the purple line. Another perfect example of where a good time to sell would be. I do think that you are going to resume this kind of downtrend that you're in. It remains to be seen if you go to your all-time lows again. It really does remain to be seen. But that's kind of my overall opinion on this thing right now. There's, it kind of makes sense to me. You broke right through the 618, man. You came up, you couldn't even get above the 69 and close above it. So I do think you want to see this 1272 at a minimum, if not new all-time lows down at $1.70. So somewhere between, I'd say, $2.13 to $1.70. Your last line of hope would really be this 886. That'd be your last line of hope right there at around $2.75. If you can hold that, things might change. If you can hold that and get above the 618, if you can hold 275, get above $3.28 on a closing basis on a daily and a weekly, things could change. But at the moment, I'm inclined to believe that you do return to your all-time lows, which are at $2.13. We go back here, right? This low is at $2.15, so you might form a slightly lower low. All in all, though, that's my opinion. So if you like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to see more. I think this thing has potential to do great in the future, but right now it's probably going to go lower. So take care, everybody. Have a good day. Bye.